So I've been thinking, what if Garrett actually isn't like gone with the other kids at the end of the movie? Oh yeah, by the way, this is filled with spoilers, so click off this video if you have not seen FNAF 2 yet, because this is absolutely loaded with them. But let's dive in. I'm saying, what if he never actually moved on with the other kids? Never got to say his goodbye to Mike because his soul is actually locked inside Circus Baby. Yeah, this is a wild theory. We know Circus Baby exists in the movie. We've seen it. And what if the only person he actually knows or suspects it at least is Vanessa, who spends like the entire second movie lying about absolutely everything, clutching Garrett's plane in the dream sequence she has, and even visually seeing Circus Baby in that dream sequence, and then ends up possessed by the puppet at the end of it? Crazy. My name is Bex, and I'm feeling dangerously confident about this theory that I've come up with. We're talking about Garrett, Circus Baby, Vanessa, Michael Afton, the puppet, and we're going to try build one clean emotional explanation for why Mike's story cannot actually end in FNAF 2. And seriously, do we actually think he's walking away from this? Because I don't think he is. Let's talk about why Garrett's story. Yeah, it's not finished and we both know it. Unless you clicked on this video half asleep and YouTube just decided to shove FNAF in your face for the first time, you already know Garrett is the emotional core of the first movie. We all know that Mike's whole life is built around what happened in the woods. He looks away for a second, Garrett is taken, and then his whole childhood is over like that. Every single decision Mike made in that first movie, every nightmare he had, every paranoid thought, it was him trying to grab a different outcome with his bare hands, just replaying that day over and over and over again. By the end of movie 1, we do get some closure. The murdered kids recognize William, all turning on him, and then they get to move on. The first time you watch this, it feels like, I don't know, like some sort of justice has finally been served for what William did to those poor kids. But then you stop and think about it for a couple of seconds and you realize a few things. Garrett wasn't in that group. He didn't step forward. He didn't get to say goodbye. And he's not one of the Freddy's 5 that's framed. And that's really weird if you think about it. Garrett was just another Fazbear victim. He would have been standing there in that big emotional moment. The fact he isn't, I mean, it must mean something important. He wasn't killed in the restaurant. He wasn't stuffed into one of those suits. He doesn't seem to be tied to that building at all if you think about it. Straight out of movie 1, they give us like this little dangling thread. Yeah, Mike got some answers, but Garrett's actual fate is still left wide open. You know what? Hold that thought. Because movie 2 does not make it any less suspicious at all. Let's shift the focus over to Vanessa for a hot minute. Do you remember that plane that Garrett had in the woods, the little red one? The one that was tied to his disappearance? If you think about it, William took it and he gave it to Vanessa as a gift. Vanessa has been holding on to this trophy from Garrett's murder for years. She's been carrying around this object that links her to Mike's dead brother, and she kept it. She didn't throw it away when she got older. She didn't smash it when she found out the truth. She kept that plane. You don't keep something like that unless you're drowning in guilt or you know what it means, or both. In FNAF 2, another piece is added. Vanessa has like this dream sequence where she sees Circus Baby. Not Freddy, not Chica, not Foxy, specifically Circus Baby. If you only know movie lore, you'd think, oh, cool, creepy clown girl robot, that's neat. If you know game lore, your soul leaves your body for a second, because Circus Baby is a big deal. It's tied to the sister location, tied to William's advanced experiments, tied in the games to Elizabeth Afton. Baby isn't just one more animatronic. She's the face of a different branch of Afton's horror. The underground bunker, the secret facility, the this should not exist era of his life. Let's put those two details together. 1, Vanessa is clinging to Garrett's plane. 2, Vanessa dreams about Circus Baby. This feels less like random spooky imagery and more like her subconscious screaming guilt. To top it off, the movie adds one more issue. Vanessa is not honest at all in FNAF 2. She dodges questions. She keeps things from Mike. She gets caught out lying or changing her story all the time, and she's clearly carrying secrets she does not want to say out loud. By the second half of FNAF 2, the movie's practically waving a flashing neon sign saying, "Vanessa's full of secrets." How can she be trusted? And then it doesn't even leave it subtle. We get Michael Afton himself, her brother, basically calling her out. He tells Mike that Vanessa is full of secrets, and, well, Mike believes it, as you would. That's the moment where Mike does this emotional whiplash pivot. He goes from Vanessa is the one person I can trust to nope, I'm done. Stay away from me. Stay away from my family. I don't want to see you. And that is huge. You don't just nuke a relationship like that over a little white lie about paperwork. The movies are telling us that whatever Vanessa is saying, it has to be big. I mean, it's big enough for Mike to feel completely betrayed and decide he can't work with her anymore. He tries to walk away from the whole Fazbear nightmare. So what kind of secret fits that? What is so massive, so emotionally devastating that Vanessa would bury it, Michael would call it out, and Mike would just cut ties the second he realizes that she's holding things back? The only answer that makes sense is she knows that Garrett is trapped in Circus Baby, and she's hiding it from Mike. Now, let's talk about Michael Afton, because he just changes the chessboard completely. In game lore, Michael's guilty, traumatized, trying to fix what his father did. Basically, I'll put things right, older brother. In the movie universe you just watched, Michael is like the complete opposite. He's mentally wrecked, a follower of William, loyal to his father's ideology, leaning way closer to cultist than redeemed son. Now, instead of compressing them into one person, the movie completely splits them in two. First, we have Mike Schmidt. He's not an Afton by blood, but he kind of fits that traumatized brother slot through Garrett. He wants out, he wants to protect Abby, and he also wants to move on. Then there's Michael Afton. He's an actual Afton child, completely loyal to William. And, well, as we all saw, he's an active danger who can continue his father's work. This is such a perfect setup for a sister location style story. We've got Mike, who's all, I need to save my brother and set him free. And then there's Michael, who just wants to protect what his father built. They've basically taken the Michael Afton we all know and love from our game lore and split him into two people. The one that blindly follows William, and then on the other hand, we have the other one, who woke up to his evil during sister location and started his path to avenge what William had broken. And who's stuck between them? Of course it's Vanessa. She's got the plane, she's got the dreams, she's got all the secrets. And then the movie just drops the final piece on us. At the end of FNAF 2, Vanessa is so broken. She's possessed, and not just by anything. We're talking by the puppet, Charlie Emily. So if Charlie possesses Vanessa, that means she's going to get access to all her memories, the plane, the dreams of Circus Baby, and all the feelings of guilt that she has. Having access to all Vanessa's memories means that it will also get knowledge of Afton, any hints about other facilities, any knowledge that she has about a sister location bunker, and all the history with Michael and William. Puppet now has a human vessel, which means somebody who can leave the pizzeria, someone who can go to Mike, someone who can connect all those threads. If Vanessa's been too scared or ashamed to tell Mike about Garrett, we know that Charlie won't have that hesitation at all. Puppet Vanessa could say something along the lines of, "You thought your brother was gone? He isn't. William built somewhere else and Garrett is still in there." That's the shove that Mike would need to send him back to hell one more time. Garrett's soul isn't tied to Freddy's in the movie universe. William used him in his advanced experiments as a core component. That means that Garrett is bound to Circus Baby or the sister location bunker. Vanessa's known about this for years, enough to be guilty, scared, and secretive about it. And Michael Afton, being the loyal heir that he is, we all know he would keep the bunker running. The puppet possessing Vanessa, it's the story's way of forcing the truth out and giving those trapped children a shot at freedom, including Garrett. In the games, Michael Afton doesn't just randomly walk into the underground facility. He goes there because William told him to. He's following orders. He's being the obedient son. He's putting in the work at his father's creepy side project. Michael goes in as a loyal Afton kid, but he slowly starts to realize some things. The place is built on something way worse than those dodgy robotics. The animatronics aren't just broken, they're haunted. And the big one, the centerpiece of the whole story, is Circus Baby is actually tied to his sister. This is the moment where the Michael we know from game lore starts to change. He goes from doing what he's told to he can't believe his dad did this to his family, to his sister, to his life. He wants to fix what his father broke. She's the animatronic that forces Michael to confront what William actually is and what he has done. And this just sets him on a path of vengeance against his father's legacy. If the writers are respecting what Circus Baby represents, then she has to be tied to a deeply personal loss. She has to be connected to a child that really matters to one of our main characters. That's why Garrett fits so perfectly into that slot. It lets Circus Baby fill the same role she had in the games. She's the animatronic that forces a Michael-type character to wake up and realize, my life, my family, everything William touched, it's all been twisted by this. And they're just not going to be a pawn of his anymore. Keep all that in mind while we line up the evidence. Garrett is missing from the Goodbye Kids lineup. The Freddy's children move on, but Garrett doesn't. He must be different. The plane changes hands in such a twisted way. Garrett, William, Vanessa, and she keeps the plane. It becomes a physical anchor for his story. Vanessa's dreams are specifically of Circus Baby. That's not just some random animatronic that she's dreaming of. It's the face of William's other horror project. We all know that Vanessa lies and hoards secrets. Michael calls her out. This makes Mike lose trust in her completely. The most devastating secret could be that Garrett isn't gone. Michael Afton exists as a deranged follower of William. He fits so perfectly into the guardian of the secret sister location experiments. Now, the one spirit whose whole mission is to help the dead kids now has a body loaded with Afton's secrets and Garrett symbolism. Garrett wasn't just another Freddy's victim. William used him for something much more advanced. That something is tied to Circus Baby and the sister location bunker. Vanessa has known too much and said so little. Now Charlie's going to make sure the truth comes out. So final question, because I know this is one that you're all stuck on. Does Vanessa actually know Garrett is in there? I think the most believable version is she doesn't have every detail, but she has enough pieces to know that something is very, very wrong. She knows where the plane came from, what kind of projects her father was working on, and that there is another facility. And her dreams of Circus Baby are not random stress nightmares. She might not think that Garrett is 100% inside Circus Baby, but deep down she absolutely believes that whatever her father did, it did not end at Freddy's. And that's what she's been hiding from Mike, from herself. The puppet possessing her is like the universe saying, you had your chance to tell him. You didn't. Now it's my turn and I'm going to fix this. And I really, really like that. What do you think? Do you think that Garrett is tied to Circus Baby in the movie canon? Do you think Vanessa knows, or is she just frightened and guilty with half the puzzle? And where do you see Michael Afton fitting in if we do get a full sister location film? I'd love to hear your theories in the comments. If you enjoyed watching, don't forget to leave a like, and I'll see you all in the next one.